It's been a while, and I wanted to talk about the Rococo variations today. This is a piece I just performed, so I thought to give you some thoughts about playing it with orchestra and just to practice on your own. When we start, we have piano indicated, but we're still the soloist, so don't come in too shy or too introverted. The manuscript has those separate, and traditionally people play them separate at first and then they hook them. I like that. That works for me. So separate here. Those two 16th notes, the G sharp and the F sharp, I like giving them a little extra TLC time and care. So vibrato. They're also within hairpins, so and notice that the E gets more vibrato than the C sharp. Here, as you see, I'm hooking the 8th notes. And I actually tap the high A a split second before I play it, just to find it. And I like sliding a little bit back to the C sharp. And then for the repeat, you can change your slurs to hook them this time. The second half. So here, this is a little difficult to get to the C sharp, especially if your hands are like mine, which are not very big. I prepare my third finger and stretch it before I get to the C sharp. Pay attention that you're vibrating those notes. It will help your hand actually relax. And this gesture, more vibrato on the F sharp. For the pianissimo, I stay on the A string. I played in the past on the D string, but I think that this color, the dark color, is not really appropriate for this theme in particular. We know that Tchaikovsky was a fan of Mozart, and this whole piece is really quite Mozartian in the Russian way. So we are trying to keep the color pretty bright and open as a general idea, in my opinion. So and you can slow down a hair in the second repeat of this second half of the theme. Then we get to the transition, this high shift that's not so easy, especially when under pressure. So let's talk about shifts. In past vlogs, I've talked about the relationship between the left and the right hand. I think that's really important here. Think about whether you want to shift before you get to your down bow or whether you want to shift after. So for this particular shift, which is dramatic, I like shifting on the new bow. So after I'm on the down bow. So I imagine the note, the high C sharp, in a way that maybe horn players think of a high note before they reach it. And there is a little bit of slowing down this shift to hear your way up to the C sharp, but not a lot. So you're slowing down your bow just a hair. Once you reach the C sharp, you give the speed with a bow, and also you can crescendo. So here, you see, give a little more weight. This makes for a dramatic shift. Another way of doing this is shifting on the old bow, so on the up bow. And that's if you want a very kind of seamless and understated shift, perhaps. I believe Rostropovich does it this way, in a way that only he can do. So this way the notes are connected in a different way. When we are in the last 2/16 notes of this tema, I like playing this, and most of us play it for convenience, on the D string, which means we again have to give those 2/16 notes a little extra care. I both enunciate by tapping my third finger, and I also vibrate on both the E and the C sharp. So rather than not doing that, and then those two notes can get lost. So. Well, in terms of tempo, I probably would say around 60 beats per minute for the tema. Tchaikovsky wrote that he wanted the first variation and second variation in the same tempo. I think we can take a slight deviation from this and a little bit of liberty, because the first variation goes forward just a hair. So you can start it maybe around 60, 62, but just the flow is forward moving. The second variation is again slightly faster, just to keep the excitement. I'm not talking about 10 beats difference, but just maybe 2 or 4 faster beats per minute. So I find this variation very difficult for some reason, but I think part of the danger for me is getting the 2 higher notes lost. So that's how I practice it. So as you see, I take care to bring out the top C sharp, B, B, A, etc. That's a hard one. So you just have to focus and practice it. Narrow down, when you practice, just narrow down the problem points and really focus on them, and be honest with yourself. I would vibrate also on this high E and give it a tiny bit of more time. This piece has actually quite a bit of flexibility in terms of the accompaniment in the orchestra. Tchaikovsky was very generous to us, and he wrote a fantastic accompaniment in terms of balance. We really don't, there's no problems there. It's very light, and also it's simple, so that with the exception of the very fast variation, the last variation, and maybe the second one, we can take liberties. Here, I would vibrate on the F sharp and take a little time for that slide, for that shift. Again, now you can slow down just a hair at the end here.